Shalom. All praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh. Ba'asham Yahawashai, Ba'asham Racha Kwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone, and salutations to all you sincere Akiam. And this is your brother Abawan back again with another video through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahawashai, Ba'asham Racha Kwadash. And yeah, it's a little bit late because they are out of the news cycle right now, but why not bring it up? Because this is still relevant to prophecy as everything on the earth is. But this is a we have been watching videos recently going into who the Houthis actually are. And because in a few weeks back, you were hearing all about how the Houthis are basically attacking Israel, right? Blocking transport of goods from Israel, and threatening the state of Israel, and then the US, the UK, different nations started them waging war against the Houthis and threatening to bomb them. And I never really looked into the information to find out exactly what or who they are, but I just did that in this video. I watched a few videos on them, and this is the one I actually want to use because there was a line that was said in this video that I want to actually highlight and make and use that line as an inspiration to make a video of my own. So let's get it. Best in their pocket, and especially as well Israel by targeting to ship. Let me go back. Let me go back. He does. Let me go back. So okay, I went forward a little bit too much. Now let me play it again. This latest action because they know that you can only hurt the West in their pocket, and especially as well Israel by targeting to ship. Many of the ships. And basically, what he said there is, in case you didn't hear it, he said that the only way you can hurt the West is by targeting their pockets, especially Israel, and that's why you see the Houthis, they are blocking the transport routes, right, the shipping routes to the state of Israel, in order to try and most that I'm looking for aggress, to aggravate, basically, rile up the West, rile up the US and the allies of Israel, because that's really go that's really and let me just get that precept. I wanted to get it a little bit later in the video, but now it's a good time to just start going into the precepts. So this is the book of Joel 3 verse 10. So this is the book of Joel 3 verse 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. And that is the time that we're in. This is the time of war right here. And as the scriptures say, there is a time and a season for everything. Well, this is the time of war. And the nations are waking up. They are realizing what time it is. Everybody knows what time it is. That's why you're seeing news articles about, oh, we're about to go to war with this. I just recently saw a brother post that very soon. I think it was even the brother Yashalam, right? He just recently posted that the UK is soon going to start doing mandatory drafts if Russia declares war, because that is the time that we're in, the time for war, and the nations are not sleeping anymore. All the nations are riled up, preparing for war, and they know who the enemy is, because the nations are already tired of Babylon the Great and getting pissed off at Babylon the Great. The nations are already mad and they're getting ready to start putting that fire on Babylon, right? Which will eventually, end off with the nuclear destruction of Babylon the Great. But we're already in those times. Okay, so continuing on. Joel 3 verse 10. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. And that's the time that we're in, preparing for war. All the nations are preparing for war. All the, warriors, basically the warrior class, the mighty men that have been silent in these nations are rising up and coming against Esau Edom, coming against the West really. And that is what you're going to see coming out happening in these last days, where you have different nations coming up against Esau Edom, and Esau Edom also preparing his own armies as well. And eventually just going to be complete chaos out here. Civil war, wars just conflict just breaking out left and right. Wars, rumors of wars, you're seeing everything happening in real time, and that's really what is everything is leading to. World War 3, Jacob's trouble, right? Or in those times right now, ooh, it's really, it's really exciting to see. But yeah, anyway, back to the precept. And then the next precept I actually want to get was based on the comment he made, where he said that the only way to really attack the West is to attack their pockets. This is the book of James 5 verse 1. Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth eaten. Right, because the riches, right, the splendor, the trade that Babylon the Great excels in, which really, that the US, the only time they ever involve themselves in making exports is when they are pushing their wicked doctrines, or they are sending relief to Israel, as it is written. Let's go to that as well. Let's go to that as well, because the Houthis is actually targeting the state of Israel, right? But you see the West being riled up for their sake. And the reason why you see that is because, and it's actually two precepts going into that. So let's get these two precepts. Jeremiah 49 verse 20. Therefore hear the counsel of Yahweh that he hath taken against Edom, and his purposes that he hath purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. And Jeremiah 50 verse 45 going into the same thing. Therefore hear ye the counsel of Yahweh that he hath taken against Babylon, showing you. I didn't think I'd have that in this video, but this is proof right here that Babylon the Great is, that the end of the scriptures is going into Babylon the Great is actually talking about Edom, because Edom is spiritual Babylon. This is once again showing you that the US, right, America is Babylon the Great, because you see two precepts in the same book of Jeremiah going into the exact same thing, but the Edom is replaced with Babylon the Great, interchangeable, right? Jeremiah 50 verse 45. Therefore hear ye the counsel of Yahweh that he hath taken against Babylon, and his purposes that he hath purposed against the land of the Chaldees. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. And you have to be. I want to actually check something right now. So I'm going to the interlinear. I want to check the concordance to see what's the Hebrew word for Babel. Okay, Babal. So that's Babal, and of course you know that the Hebrew word Babal means confusion in the English. And when I say confusion, I mean in terms of the actual etymology of the word confusion, which is with mixing, which is why you see confusion by mixing, right? But let's also go into analyze in the book of Jeremiah 49, the same precept, and I've forgotten the exact verse, but yeah, the same precept. Yeah, it is, and it's going into Edom now. So the word I will see there is, of course, Adawam, which is what Edom is in the Hebrew. Adawam, and you can see the R in the Assyrian, but the other letters, they basically I can see the R, the Da, and the Ma, but they remove the wa sound, right? But in the Hebrew, the true Hebrew, the Paleo Hebrew, the word for Edom is Adawam in the Hebrew, and the word you see here, Edom, red, right? So anyway, that's the precept right there. The least of the flock shall draw them out, which is exactly what is going on right now. The state of Israel is causing, the West to come out and defend it against these enemies that they have made round about them. And the Houthis really are targeting the state of Israel. But you know that the US has to come out and defend Israel's interests. Why? Because the small hearts are in rulership. That is the chief nation of Esau Edom, and that is the nation that is in rulership of this kingdom, which is why you have that situation happening or unfolding. So now back to the book of James, right? Going to the same thing, and Esau's riches is destroyed, right? The let me get that precept. The well-favored harlots, right, which is basically once again going into Babylon the Great, the well-favored harlots. Yeah, let me just type it that harlots. Uh, I can't. I know sometimes it's difficult to find these precepts. Let's try that again. Well, favored. Or let me try and see whether whether it's actually in the apocrypha. When you're looking for precepts like this and just basically slows down the pace of the video, the way it pisses me off. I guess I'm remembering it wrong. Because I can't find these precepts. I'm remembering it wrong. I'm remembering it wrong. Okay, okay, here it is. So this is the book of Nahum 3, and I'll start from verse 1. Nahum 3, verse 1. I don't know why I did not see it before, but the Spirit opened my eyes and revealed it to me. Nahum 3, verse 1. Woe to the bloody city! It is full of lies and robberies. The prey departed not. And once again, we are talking about Babylon the Great. We are talking about Esau, Edom, okay? The noise of the whip, and the noise of the rattling of the wheels, and the prancing horses, and of the jumping chariots. Babylon the Great, Esau, Edom, spiritual Sodom, spiritual Egypt. Nahum 3, verse 3. The horseman lifted up both the bright sword and the glittering spear, and there is a multitude slain and a great number of carcasses, and there is none end of their corpses. They stumble upon their corpses. And you know the amount of bloodshed that Babylon the Great, which is America, once again showing you that America is Babylon the Great. Okay, the amount of corpses that the US has made throughout the years and throughout its inception, right? How many wars has the US been involved in since it became a nation? How many wars has Israel been involved in? The state of Israel been involved in since its inception? And it's going into the same thing. I believe for the US is like what 92% of the time they are at war with a nation, with one nation or the other. And for Israel, it's just throughout 100% of the time, different conflicts and things going on. The Israel Gaza situation has been going on long before I was even born. Self, they born me and time. That's how this is going into Esau Edom right here. This is Esau Edom through and through right here. Nahum 3, verse 4. Because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well favored harlot, the mistress of witchcraft, that selleth nations through her whoredoms, and the families through her witchcraft. Behold, I am against thee, saith Yahweh of hosts, and I will discover thy skirt upon thy face, and I will shew the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame. Right. And that is the reason why you have the nations right now. They are stirring themselves up against Esau Edom, because they are seeing that, is this the man, right? Babylon the Great is getting weaker, and it is becoming less and less of an impregnable city, right? Impenetrable city. And that is why the nations are being roused up, because now they have support. The Houthis can get support from China or Russia or Iran in order to come against the state of Israel, because the state of Israel is directly allied with the West. All right, so now basically the nations and the residue of the heathen are being gathered together against Esau Edom in order to bring down this devil, right? Because that's really what this is all about. But that's the most high Yahweh Hashem Yahushai rousing these two nations, right? Rousing them to fight against each other. But you already know how it will all end up. Why do the heathen rich and the people imagine a vain thing, right? So now let me see if I can just finish up this James the fifth chapter, just to close out what I'm trying to say. Okay, yeah, read all that. But this is the book of James 5, verse 3. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasure together for the last days. Behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which of you were kept back by fraud, crieth. And the cries, okay, this is going into our own people and not the heathen, because I wanted to say that, now the nations are seeing They are saying this because they know the bottom line for Esau Edom, and really because the riches of this kingdom and the riches that Esau Edom possesses is losing its value, it's losing its worth. Right? That's why the scriptures say your gold is cankered, your gold is cankered, your rusted garments are moth eating, because all these riches that you devils are heaping onto yourself to be for naught at the end of the day, because really when you gather these riches you are really gathering it for the elect of the nation of Israel, because once you take down you devils and take over this kingdom through the spirit and power of Yahweh Basham Yahushai, all those riches will be given into the hand of the elect of the nation of Israel. Lord willing will be a part of that number. So with that, once again, all praises, honor and glory unto Yahweh Ba'asham Yahawashai, Ba'asham Rakakwadash, Wa Abad Babal, Shalawam. And through the Spirit of you are come and you are quite edified, Shalawam.